Coming off a good road win in the Big Ten, and every win in the Big Ten is on the road is a good win, and getting back late at night and not making excuses, but we knew this was going to be a little bit of a tougher day. I was disappointed in our start because we had a good practice Friday. We didn't do much Thursday, but we had a good practice Friday, and I just felt like we came out and, again, didn't do the things that we were supposed to do. Offensively, we were going inside, and we didn't do a good job of that. And defensively, I thought we were a step slow. We weren't pressuring up. We didn't look like one of the best defensive teams in the country. And then we turned it over 5 out of our first, 8 possessions. And, then we bared down in the next 15 minutes, had 1 turnover, and widened the lead, played really well, 10-minute mark. Had a timeout and told them, this is where we got to grow now. 19 up, all of a sudden a bad shot, a bad turnover, and a bad defensive play, and it cut down to, 13 or whatever it was. So there's enough to be upset about, but there's enough to feel good about. I mean, we are getting better. Each day we're getting a little better, and we do have a variety of people scoring, and it's nice to see Max hit a shot, but didn't get as many as I thought he could. It was good to see Gabe make some shots, but I thought he missed a couple of good looks. Marcus, with his double-double after a slow start, was really good, and I thought Tyson Walker is starting to play better, and better. So I will leave it for questions, but when that was the third team, I think, that's field goal percentage was in the 40s, and I think Penn State, I think he's a damn good coach. His team is well prepared. They run good stuff. They're solid defensively. I think they run out of gas a little bit because they don't have as many subs right now, but he'll get that thing going, I think, for sure.
Tom, Tyson, for the second straight game now, seems to have really found a balance, a blend of when to be aggressive, when not, and sort of a new thing, taking the ball off a made basket and attacking for a one-man fast break sort of deal. You seem very, very pleased with. Did it a couple times. I'm wondering what you're seeing from him, and are you seeing that sort of comfortable mix of creating for others and being aggressive?
I am. I think he's just getting a feel for things. The next feel will be when to pull up and take that three, because he's a very good three-point shooter. Once in a while, both those guys get carried away a little deep, and you got to realize that at this level, there's going to be more 7-footers in there, and there's going to be more bigger guys as far as, when they're just dribbling in. And that, we had a couple turnovers AJ did on that, but I thought Tyson played awfully well. He had 9 assists. He had, I don't know how many points did he end up with, 10. He almost had a double-double. Markey had a double-double. We had some other guys that I just thought did a very good job. I thought Joey's playing better. Malik made a couple of great plays, but Malik said he just felt like he had no energy, and I thought that's kind of the way he played defensively, because he's really one of our best defenders. So, Tyson, the guy that stirs the drink usually gets the team going, and he's doing that now, and it's been fun to watch.
Tom, I want to ask you about the turnovers. You guys have 9 wins this year. In 7 of those wins, you guys have lost the turnover battle. You have a negative 3+ turnover margin. Why do you think you guys are losing the turnover battle and have that margin, but are still winning games like this?
Well, if I was to be cocky and arrogant, I'd say maybe that's how good we could be if we ever quit turning the damn ball over. But I don't know the answer. It's talked about, it's worked on. 11, that's way below our average. And yet the way they come in bunches and the way they come, I think part of it is, we're still playing 9-10 guys. Marty played really good today. We're playing 9-10 guys, and there's not a feel. We're playing 2.5 freshmen, and I think that's part of it. But I think we're trying to do too much to let the game come to us. I think we're taking it to the game on times that we shouldn't, and we're trying to make 50 and 40% passes instead of 70 and 80 and 90% passes. But It has been strange. Normally, when you lose the turnover battle, especially, but if you really look at it, the big games when we lost it that were turnovers for touchdowns, like this is such a misleading stat, and everybody, I think you know it, but if not, I'll try to educate myself and you. When it says 18 points off turnovers, that does not mean direct. It means anytime you turn the ball over the next possession. So you could throw it out of bounds and they come. We keep stats of the last game. I think we had 9 direct. It turned it over. They got a layup, a layup, and a 3 or something, you know. Those kind of stats are what we look for. Kansas, I think we had 11 points. They had 11 points directly off our turnover. Those are undefensible. They're breakaways. They're pick sixes, as Mel would call them. And that is the most frustrating. You know, when you kick it out of bounds, it bothers the coach. But your defense, especially if it's good, has a chance. When you do it the other way, you have no chance. And we have made more than a few of those that we're trying to correct. And hell, you guys should be more positive. We haven't stepped out of bounds in 2 games.
Electric fence is working. 31-3 on the break tonight. What was that? Is that a result of the guards getting better with pushing? Is it the rebounding and going? Because it seemed like there's a lot of both going on.
Yeah, I think a lot of both. I think cleaner rebounds when you defend well. Markey got some big rebounds. We're getting better outlets than we used to get. And one of the reasons our point guards are getting out to the wings where we want them instead of in the middle of the court asking for the ball. We're starting to run our break. We're getting both lanes filled. We're getting a guy down the middle. We're getting some continuity. We get Joey down the middle. We get Markey down the middle. Then we get guys wide open on the wings. And, you know, I didn't think Gabe shot it very well. And, you know, and Max still hasn't shot it like I know he can shoot it. But Gabe has been shooting real well. He missed some wide open ones. And yet all that being said and done, we what did we shoot? 43% from the 3 and 52. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were in the 20s, and we were complaining about how we shot. So I still got a lot to complain about, but I got a lot to feel good about. And what really has pleased me is I go to practice, and I leave practice, I say to my staff, we got a little better today. We're getting a little better. Now, we have a long way to go because we're not an ultra-talented team. So we got a depth, and we still got some youth that are going to make some mistakes, but we're going to get better. I really believe that.
Tom, I know Marcus hit the 1-3 today, but you know, outside of that, how much do you see him kind of sticking to that bread and butter like you wanted him to down low?
Well, if it's an inside-out, kick-out 3, that's why I laughed. If it was one like Minnesota, I don't laugh. And him and I got to get an agreement on that, and I'm going to win the agreement. I promise. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, you know, whether he likes it or not, he's got a lethal jump hook that he doesn't throw very often. He's turning out to be, I think he's in the high 70s now from the free throw line. You know, the NBA ruins us. You know, everybody's shooting threes, and Marcus Bingham he's got even a great left-hand jump hook that you guys have never seen, except you guys that come to practice. So inside out, Marcus is good between the legs, the swing, fire it. Not a big analytics guy, but the analytics on that aren't as positive.
Tom, staying with Marcus a little bit, I mean, a year ago, the big guy he was up against was a more consistent and better Big Ten big man. Tonight, I mean, he more than held his own, and he showed his teeth a little bit. And I'm just wondering, is when he gets these matchups, are there moments where you really see the growth in him?
Yeah, strength-wise especially, you know. And I don't see him just jogging up and down the floor right now. I see a better conditioned and a stronger Marcus Bingham. And you know, like today, he was glued in. I mean, he knew he screwed up a couple of things that we wanted to do early, and he took it. And he, you know, and then when he does that, I'm on his side. You know, so this kid is, you know, his best basketball is ahead of him. And I just hope it's ahead next game, you know, and we keep growing with him. I mean, he can consistently do that. I really believe that. And if he does, he's going to make a name for himself. And so we'll keep working on him. He'll keep working on it. But I was really pleased by how he played and after those first 5 minutes.
Tom, after Jaden missed a swing pass early in the first 10 minutes of the second half, next two possessions, you were kind of pretty animated talking to him while he was still on the court. How do you think you responded to that?
Jaden he's just a fun kid to coach because he can take it, he understands it, he's a 3.9 student, he's smart, he works his tail off, he's in every day, he's got an incredible demeanor about him. I said, some guys, usually sign guys, and they're never as good as what you sign. And every once in a while you sign guys that you say, wow, that guy's better than I thought he was, And Jaden's in that category, He's still, a little bit like Rock was, a little bit like Gabe. The game is still quick for him, and he's even quicker for the game. And as he slows down and sees things, he can really make plays. He can shoot, he can pass, he can defend with anybody, and he can rebound with any guard, we've had since Charlie. So I see his time continues to improve. And what does he do? He picks up on it. He says yes in the huddle. He goes out and he does it better. I love Jaden. I absolutely love him.
Coach, you mentioned the rotation a few minutes ago, and it looks like only about 8 guys played double-digit minutes today. And I think specifically Pierre didn't play at all in Minnesota and only got a few minutes tonight. So is that an intentional tightening of the rotation, or is that something you're seeing in practice?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. With Marty playing 5, he didn't get double digits, but 6 minutes, and he played awfully well, and I think he's getting better. But it's very hard to play more than 10 guys. And, we like, so everybody knows, we really think that Pierre is going to be a hell of a player. But Pierre started a little later. He got back a month out of school. He's got some things that he has to work on. But, he's playing better and better. We put him on a scout team like we have a lot of guys, Xavier Tillman and everybody else, to try to get him more reps and more playing time. So there's nothing bad about it. It's just that's what bothers me when you get a 20-point lead. Something else you all should understand that our schedule has been ranked in the top 1, 2, 5, 7, depending if you want to call all teams, BCF schools, whatever. And so you don't get to have those cupcakes where everybody gets to just get loose. It's too bad Max, probably didn't play in that. But it's going to benefit us later. But it's hard to get guys some time now when, leads get cut and you got big leads and how fast they get cut with the three-point shot. So, no, I don't think we're trying to narrow anything down yet. We're just trying to figure out who can help us, who's improving. And remember, what you see in the game is such a small part of what's going on. Usually for every game you have, 3 practices. We've had, 30-some practices already. It's what goes on in practice and how much guys get better.
Hi, Tom. The 10 guys you played tonight, all 10 of them scored 2 or more shots from the field. You mentioned Max and Gabe didn't necessarily shoot the ball great tonight. Does your team's depth and balance sort of give you a chance to bail yourselves out offensively when guys may not shoot the ball great?
I think at times it does, and then defensively they got to do the same thing. I thought AJ did some good things too. It's, just trying to get these guys to figure out that if you take the ball too far, if you don't, I think there's some kickouts we still could be getting. We're getting people that are swarming us. The first 2 plays, we said they're going to dig on the post. We're dribbling the ball up here. They turn it over. Both guys did, and so, we still got a lot of work to do on that, but we also have made more progress defensively. We seem to guard the stuff better. than we are offensively right now. So that'll be what this break will be for. We'll try to home in our offense. Offenses are always behind the defenses, and we'll try to do a better job of that as a staff, and maybe it'll help our guys.
I was kind of just going there. You've had a kind of a rugged schedule, and now you're going into, I think you only have 2 games in the next 18 days. You have finals this week. Is this an opportunity, the only stretch of the season when you're going to have more practices and games to maybe fix some of those things that bother you?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, the problem is, like, we've never had a schedule like this. But see, we had a couple things that changed this year. We had the Gavitt games. So we had the Gavitt, the Big Ten, ACC, the Tournament of Champions, the 3 down in Puerto Rico, which we had no chance to change the schedule. You know, we had no chance to maneuver games around like we normally would because so many of those were tied in. So we had 3 games to move. We had to play one right after Kansas and one when we came back. So, you know, normally we'd like to sprinkle a game in like Sunday maybe, or we just couldn't do it this year because of the brutal schedule. And how many games are games that are picked by people, not by KP or us, you know? In other words, we don't have the flexibility on those 6 games that I just talked about, so it makes it a little harder on us to balance it out. I mean, to think, was this our 3rd or 4th home game? 4th home game. You know, there's a lot of teams. I think Kentucky's played 9, you know, and so, you know, I feel good about where we are in that, but some of the things that hurt is less practice time because we had we've sandwiched 11 games in now in, what, a month? Yeah, so, I mean, just think about that and how you're going to get better. So I've got to be a little understanding of that, too. And, yeah, I do want to close, and I don't do this very often, so bear with me. But as I watch this COVID thing in these hospitals and I listen to the people, I have a lot of friends that are doctors and nurses, and I'm really ticked off at our country a little bit. Whether you choose to get vaccinated or not is your choice. You know, I'm going to beg people to get vaccinated because it's what I believe. But it's not just me, it's the scientific knowledge, it's the doctors, it's the nurses, it's everybody, and the people that are getting it, that are vaccinated, have such a better chance to survive everything, stay out of the hospitals. Our hospitals are overwhelmed again, and for the first time last week, I had some friends of mine, I had some people say to me, people are so idiotic. They're blaming the doctors and the nurses, those people that were. So if you don't get it, that's your business. But these are people that were our heroes. They were our heroes for a year. And now because people, in my humble opinion, don't get vaccinated, and then there's, you know, let down your guard a little bit, and our hospitals in the state of Michigan are in trouble again, and then that's okay if that's what you want to do, but for the people out there condemning our doctors and nurses and the first responders, the people that are, makes me sick. It really bothers me. And so you have your own decision on what you want to do. That's your business. But I'll tell you one thing, if anybody's that ignorant that they're condemning our doctors, nurses, first responders, all the people that are giving their frickin' life. And now we can't even get operations. We can't do things because these hospitals are overwhelmed again. Shame on you. So take your shots at me. It doesn't bother me. I'm not telling you that you have to, who's Tom Izzo to tell you to go get vaccinated? That's your business. But please, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the people, those nurses that get paid little and put their life on the line every day, and the doctors. Please, don't forget we love them, we care about them, we appreciate them. What they've done for us, well, most of us were sitting home not working, and they were going in every day. And I hear that stuff out in our community. It makes me sick. So let the fight start. Let it begin. Do what you want with your vaccinations, but please appreciate the people that have done so much for us. Thank you.